Hi, it's Gabby Victoria. This is my PS 102 Lab Week 2 video. This week we learned about time, so we made two kinds of clocks. I ended up making a drip clock and also a sundial, and I thought they were super fun. I had so much fun making the sundial. My neighbors were probably like, "What the heck is going on? What is this piece of paper outside with rocks on it?" This week our focus was on time, so I went ahead and worked through both the labs. I made a clock. I actually did the drip clock, and I thought it was super cool. And then I also made my own sundial, which is what I'm going to be showing you in teacher mode right about now. Hi students, it's Miss V. This week, as you remember, we've been talking about time and how to tell time on a regular clock that we'd see in our classroom or around our homes, but also how to tell time using the natural sources around us, also known as the sun. This week you guys are going to be making at-home sundials, and I will go into further detail in just a second. Before I explain the lab for you today, I want you to start thinking about what sources we could use to tell time around us. This is a photo of the sundial that I made and placed outside of my apartment. I'll show you how to make one right now. First, to make your needle. What I used was a triangle piece of paper cut to be about 10 inches long, and then I taped it to a kebab skewer with 2 pieces of tape. Now it's time to make the base for your sundial. I just used 2 pieces of paper taped together and cut out a circle so it would look like a clock face. I then poked a hole in the center for my needle, and then as the day went on, I marked times on my base where the shadow of my needle was pointed based off of what the actual time was. This was my sundial set up in the grass just outside my apartment. Here you can see the time change between the two photos from 11:30 to 12:30 based off of where the needle's shadow was on the base of the clock. But an issue with sundials is that if it gets too cloudy or the sun goes down, your clock stops working, which is exactly what happened to me when it started to get cloudy here in Ames, shown in the picture where you can't see the shadow of the needle anymore. These were the weather conditions outside when the shadow from my needle disappeared. Being able to tell time is super important for everybody. Before we had regular clocks that you see now, people were using sundials and different means to tell time, whether it was where the sun's position was in the sky, by the shadows of trees, or even just like a light pole, like a pole in the ground would be an excellent way to make a sundial that's just gigantic. And you can tell the different times of day by where the shadows point, or even how long the shadow is on the ground. It can tell you the different position of the sun in the sky, which is in different places during different times of the day. I challenge you guys to go home and find something tall, whether it's a street pole for electricity or for lights, or even a really tall tree in your yard, and test out the theory of where are the shadows in the morning, where are the shadows in the afternoon, and where are the shadows at night or in the evening when the sun is still out, and see what the difference is, and come back and tell it to me and tell it to your classmates and see what you guys figured out. Mango and I are super excited to see what your outcomes were from going home and looking at shadows, and also your own sundials that you were able to make at home to test out these kinds of theories.